Quadrupled Fly with a leg raise. So the weight is going to be in one hand, and that same side leg is going to stay planted into the ground. So my left leg, I'm going to start with it extended back. My right hand has the weight. I'm going to exhale here as I lift that leg and lift the weight. And I want you to be sure that as you lift both limbs that you're not over lifting and arching, that we're keeping that nice long neutral spine. Flex through that foot to access your glute. Inhale to bring everything back in. Exhale to reach back out. Slowly bring it back in. Be thoughtful as you keep going here that you're not looking forward to arch your neck. Stay neutral. And also that your shoulder blade is staying down and back, as well as we're minimizing a lot of lean, in this case to my right side. In order to lift my limbs, you want to keep that connection of your stationary limbs grounded into the floor so that your axis doesn't shift as you move your two limbs. Start in tabletop with your core connected. Take your weight kind of about on a 45-degree angle back overhead. You're gonna see how this helps your rib cage and your abdominals connect into place. You're gonna hold your arms long there as you exhale. Reach one leg out on that 45-degree angle. Draw it back in with your breath. Exhale. Inhale to bring the knee back in. Continuing to march throughout. Lateral lunge. You're gonna start with your feet wide. You're gonna inhale as you sit back towards one side. Your non-weighted leg is straight. This side is doing the work to keep you supported, and you wanna make sure that you sit really far back into that hip and hinge your torso forward in order to find that glute. Then you're gonna exhale, drive through that heel to come up tall to standing. I'm gonna do this on the side so you can also see my mechanics a little bit differently. So again, we inhale to lower and sit back as if there's a chair here that I'm aiming for. And then exhale, drive through the heel to come up tall to standing. You're gonna take your feet, line up your big toe, right in line with your kettlebell. You're gonna come down into your squat, take your hands right over, knees are tracking right over your toes, my hips are back into that imaginary chair behind me. I'm gonna inhale here at the bottom to prepare, exhale, drive through my heels to stand tall. Again, being thoughtful that at the top, my pelvis is not passing over my heels, I'm keeping my weight back in my seat. And then I'm gonna inhale as I slowly lower, reaching my hips back behind me in order to bring the weight back down to the floor. Hip Hinge T exercise. It's named a T because your arms are gonna make that shape when you're doing this motion. So I'm gonna start in my hip hinge. So first, feet are going to be approximately shoulder distance apart. I'm going to hinge at my hips, send the pelvis back so I have that nice long line from my rib cage to my pelvis. My arms are going to face straight down, palms facing in. I'm gonna inhale here, exhale to open both arms out to the side. Squeeze both shoulder blades together, keeping my head all the way to my tailbone in a neutral line, and then inhale to slowly lower the arms back down. As you open the arms up, make sure that you're not lifting your rib cage and arching through the spine, that you're keeping that connection with your abdominal muscles. Also, as we lift up, you may notice a shrug that kind of wants to happen with your shoulder blades, so make sure they stay long down your back as well. If that's still challenging for you to organize your shoulder blades, one other tip that you can try is instead of the palms facing in, turn the palms to face behind you so that your thumbs are inward. And then as you exhale, pinkies are gonna go straight up towards the ceiling instead. That can often help take some tension out of the neck, but still help you work in between the shoulder blades, and then slowly lower back down here. Again, similar to some of the other exercises, if holding this hip hinge strategy through the whole set is too much for you right now, feel free to stand tall in between each rep to work on strength. And as you build more endurance, then you can hold that hip hinge strategy for longer with more reps.